morning sun shines on the gleaming hide of a muscular ranch horse. The aroma of bacon and coffee drifts from the wood cook stove at a cow camp. Silver spurs jingle as the men and women of the West get set for another day in the saddle. From the heart of Canada's finest ranching country, this is the Spirit of the West with rancher and horse trainer Hugh McLennan and his collection of music, poetry, and conversations with the folks who live and work with horses and cattle in the Spirit of the West.
You know, a lot of our friends head south at this time of year, some of them all the way to Hawaii, and a lot of them go to Arizona. And I guess that's okay, hauling horses down to the desert, riding in the sunshine while we bundle up each morning and do the chores in the dark. But I really wouldn't want to miss Christmas time here on the Northern Range, with snow all over the ground, great times visiting with our neighbors that we don't see near often enough. And this week, I've rounded up some of the stories and songs that really capture the flavor of Christmas in cattle country. And wherever you are, I hope you enjoy our look at Christmas in the West.
The wind is blowing cold down the mountain tips of snow, and across the ranges lying brown and dead.
It's crying through the valley trees that wear the mistletoe, and mourning with the gray clouds overhead. Yet it's sweet with the beat of my little horse's feet, and I whistle like the air was warm and blue.
And I'm riding up the Christmas trail to you, old folks.
I'm riding up the Christmas trail to you. Oh, maybe it was good when the whinny of the spring had wheeled me to hopping of the bars,
and living in the shadow of a sailing buzzard's wing, and sleeping underneath a roof of stars.
But the bright campfire light only dances for a night, while the home fire burns forever, clear and true. So round the year I circle back to you, old folks, and I'm riding up the Christmas trail to you.
Maybe it was good at the roundup in the fall, when the cloud of ball and dust before us ran,
and the pride of rope and saddle was a driving of us all to a stretch of nerve and muscle, man to man. But the pride sort of died when the man got weary-eyed. 'Twas a sleepy boy that rode the night guard through, and he dreamed himself along the trail to you, old folks, dreamed himself along the Christmas trail to you. The coyote's winter howl cuts the dust behind the hill, but the ranch's shining window I can see.
And though I don't deserve it, and I reckon never will, there'll be room beside the fire kept for me.
Skip my plate, 'cause I'm late, let me hit that old kid gate, for tonight I'm stumbling tired of the new. And I'm riding up the Christmas trail to you, old folks, I'm riding up the Christmas trail to you. I'm riding up the Christmas trail to you, old folks, I'm riding up the Christmas trail to you.
Don Edwards and Michael Martin Murphy riding up the Christmas trail. And you know, when you live a long ways from the city and you depend on Mother Nature and the cattle markets, you sometimes reflect on the past year around Christmas time. And that's what J.W. Beeson was doing when he wrote this.
It's 15 below on the prairie. The wind chill's down near 42. And I'm watching the Texas Blue Norther blow in, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do, 'cause the tanks are froze pretty near solid, and the handles broke off my best axe, and the feed's getting wet from a hole in the roof where it's leaking all over the sacks. And I'm feeding more hay than I planned on, 'cause the snow covered up all the grass. Tractor broke down, the pickup won't start, and it's cold as a well digger's shovel. It's the 24th day of December, and the sagebrush is covered with ice, and I think that a hot cup of coffee or a good shot of rye would be nice, 'cause my feet are so cold I can't feel 'em, and my fingers are pretty near froze, and there's icicles hung off my mustache from the drip dripping off of my nose. And I was hoping I'd get to quit early and be back at the house Christmas Eve, but these baldies are crying and hungry, and there ain't no one to feed if I leave, and there's one little motley-faced heifer that somehow got in with a bull, and she's just too little to leave by herself, 'cause the calf's gonna have to be pulled, and, well, there's one other thing I could mention. A fact that is painfully clear. I'm so broke that I can't pay attention. So, I guess I'll spend Christmas out here. But it's pretty out here on the prairie, where the stars light the cold winter sky, and though I can't remember when things was much worse, I guess I'm still a right lucky guy, 'cause I've got a good woman who'll love me no matter what time I come home, and my young'uns are happy and healthy, though I wish they weren't quite so near grown. And I've got that new 3-year-old filly that's better than I even dreamed. And my old spotted gelding, he's as good as they get, so things ain't quite as bad as they seem. I've got no cause for being ungrateful. To gripe and complain isn't good, 'cause there's people all over this country that'd trade places with me if they could. So I reckon I'll have a good Christmas, in spite of my problems somehow. I'll just watch as this Texas Blue Norther blows in and sing "O Holy Night" to the cows.
Jeremy Willis was raised on a ranch not too far from right here, and he wrote a song about Christmas on the home place, and it's become a seasonal hit because the cows don't know what day it is.
It was 6 and I was 4. I woke up to the sound of a wood stove door, and my dad throwing kindling on the burn. Well, I jumped up and hit the floor, 'cause we'd hung our stockings on the night before, and those Christmas gifts were my only heart's concern. Dad was dressed, his big boots on, and I couldn't believe it that he wanted to get gone when Santa had been here some hours before. But Dad just smiled, shook his head, said, "Load my stocking when everything's fed. It's Christmas, but somebody's gotta do the chore." That was to care for all our creatures, great and small. There's hay to feed, troughs to thaw. When the chores are all finished, they will deck the halls. Yeah, those cows don't know it's Christmas time at all. No, sir. So it's up to us to care for all our creatures, great and small. There's hay to feed, troughs to thaw. When the chores are all finished, they will deck the halls. Yeah, those cows don't know it's Christmas time at all. Lessons learned, I'm older now. I got kids of my own, and I teach them somehow to care for those who can't, 'cause I believe if you went back to that day, there was hay in the manger where the little boy lay, 'cause someone did their chores on Christmas Eve. You see, the cows don't know it's Christmas, can't help themselves, so it's up to us to care for all our creatures, great and small. There's hay to feed, troughs to thaw. When the chores are all finished, they will deck the halls. Yeah, those cows don't know it's Christmas time at all. I said the cows don't know Christmas, can't help themselves, so it's up to us to care for all God's creatures, great and small. Hay to feed, troughs to thaw. When the chores are all finished, they will deck the halls. Yeah, those cows don't know it's Christmas time at all. You see, them cows don't know it's Christmas time at all.
Coming up, some of those rare songs and stories as Christmas with the Spirit of the West continues right after this. Welcome back to Christmas in the West from the Spirit of the West. I've been digging around in the vault for stories and poems and songs about the kind of Christmas that adorns those leaning tree cards and calendar pictures, and I think you'll enjoy some of the stuff I've found. Coming up is the story of Buddy the Christmas Steer, and here's a guy we've sure enjoyed over the years, wonderful musician, Ed Peekycoot, and
Memories of a prairie Christmas, where the air is crisp and clean. Jack Frost dancing across the window, it's a cozy winter scene. Tin star hanging on our little tree, I smell Grandma's mincemeat pie. Later on I'll go out skating neath the starry velvet skies. Children laughing everywhere, making angels in the snow. Feeling magic in the air with the prairie Christmas glow. Warm and cozy in the sleigh, bells for Christmas Eve rang clear. Memories become more treasured with the passing of each year. Children laughing everywhere, making angels in the snow. Feeling magic in the air with the prairie Christmas glow. And I don't know how they did it, making Christmas sweet and bright. Memories of a prairie Christmas shining in my heart tonight. Memories of a prairie Christmas shining in my heart tonight.
Well, back in the days, before the guy in the red suit broke a bunch of flying reindeer to drive and pull a sleigh, according to D.W. Grothe, there was Buddy the Christmas Steer.
I'll tell you a tale of the old frontier, story of sorts filled with lots of good cheer. Back before Santa and all his reindeer was the legend of Buddy, the Christmas Steer. Some say he was born in the snow and the cold, yeller and white with a heart made of gold. His mom was part Angus, his dad was a polled Hereford, I hear, so I've been told. Don't know where he come from. He just always was there. Sort of popped up out of pure prairie air. And just how he knew the when and the where to do what he did, we didn't really care. Because when things got dark at the end of the year with 6 foot of snow, who would appear? With a sled full of presents and Yuletide beer? Yeah, our own little Buddy, the Christmas Steer. He didn't miss no when he visited all the ranches and homesteads, up big and a small. He'd stop at each cabin and let out a ball so folks would come out for their Christmas haul. When Buddy appeared, their eyes opened wide. The kids would all clamber all over his hide, while the folks would come carry the presents inside and bring him fresh hay with water beside. He did this for years, for count beyond end. When Christmas rolled around and winter's slow wind, if you needed a present or just a good friend, on old little buddy you sure could depend. Till finally, one Christmas, retirement near, he passed on the reins at the turn of the year to a short, hairy, fat guy with 8 tiny deer. More than one cowboy shed more than one tear. Yet, every once in a while, on a Christmas Eve clear, for those who believe, for whom Christmas is dear, he'll make an appearance with presents and beer. Good old little buddy, the Christmas steer.
We have a very faithful online listener who supported this program for as long as it's been available on the web, and he listens down in Florida. For a long time now, he's wanted me to play a special Christmas song by a special group. The group has been performing for about as long as the Sons of the Pioneers, 80 years. And they've inspired and influenced many of today's country music stars, and they're still performing, and they're still great. The Chuck Wagon Gang. And it took a while, but I finally located a good copy of their version of Beautiful Star of Bethlehem.
Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shining afar through shadows dim, giving a light for those who long have gone, and guiding the wise men on their way unto the place where Jesus lay. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on, shine on. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until the glory, glory dawn. Give us thy light to light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on, shine on. Oh, beautiful star, the hope of rest for the redeemed, the good and blessed. Yonder in glory when the crown is won, for Jesus is now that star divine. Brighter and brighter he will shine. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on, shine on. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until the glory, glory dawn. Oh, give us thy light to light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on, shine on. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until the glory, glory dawn. Oh, give us thy light to light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on, shine on. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on, shine on.
Wonderful gospel harmony of the legendary Chuck Wagon Gang. Thanks for your help in finding this one, George, and thanks for listening so faithfully all this time. And the Spirit of the West Christmas special continues right after this.
We are interrupting this program to deliver an urgent announcement to all citizens of Earth.
Excuse me.
Here's what's happening on the 2026 Spirit of the West cruise. Now, this will be on a cruise line we have never been on before, to a destination we have never been to before, with a list of places rich in history and culture. This is a bucket list voyage that'll see a 14-day cruise aboard Oceana Cruises' beautiful ship, Vista. Now, this is a totally different experience. The Vista was launched in 2023, and it's a small ship, 1,200 passengers in total. All the cabins have balconies, drinks, gratuity, Wi-Fi, all included, specialty dining restaurants, all at no extra surcharge.
Pay attention.
And we've got something special for you if you can book before Christmas. And we'll offer you 20 days away from shores, February 16th to March the 7th, 2026, and an optional 4-day pre-cruise extension at Machu Picchu in Peru. A bucket list, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Vista sets sail on February 21st from Lima, Peru. And here's the real important part.
Pay attention.
We will need you to be booked before December 30th. Get all the information at our Facebook cruise page and at the cruise page at u-mclennan.com, or just call 1-800-530-0131. Welcome back to Christmas from the Spirit of the West. Now, I'm not sure if I agree completely with the sentiments in J.W. Beeson's poem here, but it's well worth the listen, called A Cowboy's Christmas Lament.
At the North Pole, cold and frozen, Santa's saddle shop is closing. 2 old saddle maker elves will now retire, or, because of Santa's kindness, stick around to mend some harness. One would like to be the Christmas village crier. Other shops are in a tizzy. All the other elves are busy, cranking out cool 5G iPhones by the score. While on rangeland, folks are crying, 'cause a way of life is dying. No one wants to be a cowboy anymore. Now the stampin' tools are dusty, all the scythes and knives are rusty, and the shop, almost abandoned, stands forlorn, while a warehouse full of bridles, leggins, chinks, and slick fork saddles lie in wait for generations yet unborn. No apprentices in training will learn leatherwork or braiding from old masters' calloused hands, nor Western lore from those who love the history of the West. It's myth and mystery. No one wants to be a cowboy anymore. So it's out with spurs and bridles, in with kitty band teen idols. Santa's outsourcing production to Taipei. It just makes sense to keep the manufacture quick and cheap because the kids don't seem to give a hoot today. Time was once when every young man was a Tex or Roy or Gene fan who aspired to learn and live the cowboy code. Now it's tweeter texts and skateboards, rap and heavy metal axe chords. Camo-painted ATVs are all they've rode. They tear through Christmas wrappings, ribbons, bows, and gilded trappings like a diabetic through a candy stash. When they finally reach the bottom of the presents Grandma brought 'em, they proclaim, "I'd really rather have the cash." And it's true. Christmas is boughten. Now it seems kids have forgotten that the day commemorates a sacred birth, how the King and the Atoner, he whose name we praise and honor, had his holy, humble advent here on earth. They ignore all that he gave us, how his sufferings were to save us. They're enraptured by the snare of things and stuff. The more they get, the more they want. They're never satisfied. It's just impossible to ever get enough of electronic innovations from the techie generations, or those elves who made Transformers such a hit. As for braided rawhide bowsals and those hand-hitched horsehair headstalls, well, quite frankly, they just couldn't care a bit. So the gnarled, arthritic fingers of the craftsman sadly lingers over one last masterpiece of Western art, as unique in its creation as it is in form and function. Just another tool which sets cowboys apart. as those old elves snuff the candle. It seems more than they can handle, 'cause it's over, done. And like we said before, the thing that makes it sad, the thing that hurts us all so bad, is no one wants to be a cowboy anymore.
The way the Canada Revenue Agency deals with ranchers and farmers has changed a lot in the last few years, and the financial decisions we make today can have a long-lasting impact on our bottom line far into the future. It really helps to have a trusted professional who really understands your situation to guide you with all your accounting requirements and your tax preparation. Having an accountant who knows the difference between a Hereford and a heifer, what a slick and backgrounding are, and that Alfalfa and Timothy are not just names from a storybook, really helps. Kathy McMillan of PMT Chartered Professional Accountants understands the intricacies of specialized programs like Agri-Stability and Agri-Invest. She understands the demands on your time and can help you spend more time doing your job and less time dealing with endless piles of paperwork. See PMTaccountants.com or call toll-free 877-383-8081. The English brothers are doing the chores on their ranch in Colorado right now, and I thought we might eavesdrop a little and just see what those boys are up to.
Hey guys, what's in this brown package over here? Hey, it's got my name on it.
Out from under the tree, Gerald. You're just as impatient as you ever was.
Yeah. Hey, and if you knock over that tree again, we're gonna lock you in the outhouse till morning. Hey, Ray, how's the Christmas dinner coming? Ain't you got that turkey stuffed yet?
I'm running a bit behind.
I knew he'd get too attached to Tom.
Whoa. Hey, Greg's back.
Well, I sure hope he brought me that hard candy I asked for.
Oh boy, it's sure cold out there, boys.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, come on over here by the fire.
Well, all right.
Knock the chill off.
Hey, got my candy?
Yeah, gather round, brothers.
Yeah.
I've got a new version of that story this year.
Where's my candy? All right. Yeah.
Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the bunkhouse, no doggie was stirring, not even a mouse.
Really?
Worn out boot socks were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
Hey, Ray, got any candy?
The wranglers asleep, warm in their bunk beds, dreams of blue skies were clear in their heads. I just slipped on a pair of my newest long johns, closed my tired eyes, and I sighed a big yawn. When from the corral there came such a clatter, I rolled out of my bunk to see what's the matter. Tripped over my boots and stumbled to see the cause of this ruckus disturbing to me. Now that moon with its glow on the fresh fallen snow cast eerie blue shadows on tumbleweeds below, when what to my bloodshot eyes should appear but a bright shiny chuck wagon and 8 longhorn steers.
No candy.
Now with a little old driver so perky and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick.
Yeah.
Like the clear call of eagles, his orders they came. He whistled, he yodeled, he called them by name. Now Bebo, now Bovine, now Lester and Rusty, on Sidewinder Itchy, on Maverick and Dusty. To the top of that bunkhouse, to the top of the roof, stampede away, bust away, stomping each hoof. As dry prairie sage in a dust storm will fly, kicking up like a bronco buck to the sky, so up to the ridge row the chuck wagon flew, with a sack full of goodies, I hope, for our crew.
And some candy, I hope.
And then in a moment, I heard on the roof the clicking and pounding of each longhorn's hoof. And as I scratched my head and was turning around, down the chimney he tumbled, not making a sound. Dressed in fringe buckskin from his head to his foot, and a Stetson all dusty with ashes and soot. A bundle of goodies he'd flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes were squinty from riding the prairie, red cheeks that were windburned, a crooked nose, sorta scary. Ooh. He licked his chapped lips and he nodded real slow as he scratched his rough beard that was white as the snow.
Yeah, like yours.
A stump of a pipe he held tight in his mouth, and the smoke like a lariat swirling about. He had a broad face and a Dunlap belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl of cactus jelly.
Jelly.
His frame a bit chubby, lots of biscuits with his chuck. So I laughed out loud, ha ha, but I sure had good luck, 'cause he tipped me his hat and then tugged on his ear, clearly a sign I had nothing to fear. He spoke not one discouraging word, packing each boot sock without spooking the herd.
That'd be a trick.
And then twitching his finger aside of his nose and giving a wink up the chimney he rose.
There he goes.
Climbed into that wagon seat to his steers, gave a slap, and away they stampeded the stars as his map. And he bellered right clear as he soared out of sight, "Happy Christmas, you all, and to all a good night."
Yeah, that's a good story there, man. All right.
That was fun. Yeah, but I don't get any
No,
candy.
that's too bad, Wes. Well, maybe next year. Don Kennington was a lifelong horseshoer and a wonderful poet. I remember him having folks just rolling in the aisles last time he appeared at the Kamloops Cowboy Festival a few years back, and we sure miss him. This is one of his seasonal pieces called Preparations.
Why, I've been out there lifting weights and I've been out there jogging too, shoving on some blocking dummies like those football players do. I bought some big knee braces and some shin guards and some gloves, practicing on the fence posts how to block and duck and shove. I'm eating healthy food and drink, working hard to get in shape, doing strenuous exercise until my back and shoulders ache. I started early in July because time really slips away, but I'll be ready this year for that stress-filled, frightful day. Paid the bills, filled the gas tank, got insurance on my life, 'cause tomorrow I'm a-goin' Christmas shopping with my wife.
There's still more memorable songs and stories about Christmas on the range when the Spirit of the West continues right after this. Welcome back to the Spirit of the West, celebrating Christmas in cowboy country. Chelsea Cunningham knows how to pull a calf, start a colt, heel for brandings, and Matt Robertson earns his living on the back of a horse and with his guitar and a song. They got together and gave this old winter classic a western twist. Lines like "I got a horse tied out there" and much more.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
But baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
hoping you'd drop
so
in.
very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're cold as
My
ice.
mother will start to worry.
What's your
My dog,
hurry?
he will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't
But maybe
hurry.
just a half a drink more.
Put some records on while I
The
pour.
neighbors might think,
Baby, it's bad out there.
say, was that a wing?
No cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew how.
Your eyes are like
to
starlight
break this
now.
spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair, little
I ought to get home for dinner.
Mind if I'm moving closer?
I've got a horse standing tight.
What's the sense of hurting my pride?
I really can't stay.
Don't hold out,
Baby, it's cold
outside.
I simply must go.
Maybe it's cold outside.
So thanks for the show.
Maybe it's cold outside.
Your welcome has been
How lucky you dropped
so
in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at the
My
storm.
sister will be suspicious.
Glad she's not here
And
with
knocking
us.
on the cabin door.
Wind along the prairie shore.
Talking in the town is
They're all snowed in.
But maybe just another damn tomorrow.
Never such a blizzard before.
I've gotta get home.
Maybe you'd freeze out there.
Say, lend me your coat.
It's up to your knees out there.
This ain't what I planned.
When you touch my
but
hand,
don't you see?
how can you do this thing to
I've
me?
gotta be up tomorrow.
Think of my lifelong sorrow.
I got about a dozen to ride.
If you caught pneumonia and
I
died,
really can't stay.
get over that old out.
Baby, it's
cold outside.
I really can't stay. Baby, it's cold outside.
Dang it.
It's cold outside.
It's cold outside.
I just can't stay.
Yeah, you can.
It's cold.
It's a Christmas wonderland of selection, over 130,000 square feet. Irvin Tack and Western Wear. With a little intel from Santa, they've made sure the gifts you asked for are here for the holidays. So tell the family it's one-stop shopping for everything on your wish list. Yeah, yours too. A nice new blanket ought to do, plus free shipping on orders over $250. Irvin Tack and Western Wear. Exit 305 off Highway 2 by Crossfield.
The world's greatest Western store.
From a radiator cap to an engine block, BCTractorParts.com is your source for whatever you need to keep that essential implement in top shape. Specializing in quality new replacement parts for agricultural tractors, Massey Ferguson, Ford, John Deere, David Brown, Case, International Harvester, Universal Deutz, Leyland, Landini, Oliver Fiat, Alice, Zetor, White, and a lot more. If you don't have internet, just call Mark at 250-395-0960. One click or one call, and the parts will be on their way. BCTractorParts.com. Well, Rodney Nelson is a cowboy poet that we all miss so much. He wrote such great stuff. Here's one he left us with called Wilbur's Christmas Gift.
It hardly seemed like Christmas, with the prairie brown and bare. Smoke from the country schoolhouse hung lazy in the air. The kids were out for recess when Wilbur trotted by, and everyone came running just to greet old Wilbur High. A favorite with the children, he was always so much fun, this old and weathered cowboy who was loved by everyone. He teased them each a little, till the school door opened wide, and out came the little teacher to call them back inside. She looked like Santa's helper in the frosty winter air, for her rosy cheeks a-blazing matched the color of her hair. "Why, Merry Christmas, Wilbur!" And before she let him speak, she said, "Come to our Christmas program on Friday night next week." He protested just a little, he had nothing he could bring, but she told him, "Listen, Wilbur, come to hear the children sing. Just to have you with us would please them to no end, to do their Christmas songs and parts for such a special friend." Poor old Wilbur was embarrassed he had nothing he could share, but darn that feisty schoolmarm made him promise he'd be there. That night he slept uneasy, but by dawn old Wilbur knew that though a broke old bachelor, there was something he could do. In a draw down by the river, close to 20 miles away, was a dandy grove of cedars he had come across one day. So he saddled up at daybreak, and he stiffly swung astride, for the trip down to those cedars meant a long and chilling ride. Old Traveler trotted easy, and they got there before noon, but with winter days so short, he must find one pretty soon. Wasn't long he found a beauty, and he cut it carefully, leaving several bottom branches so it could grow back, you see. He lashed it to the saddle for the long trip to the school, but then he got to thinking that perhaps he'd been a fool. It was just a prairie cedar. The thought made Wilbur frown. It wasn't near as fancy as the ones they sold in town. What if they didn't like it? Doubts flickered through his head, and as evening turned to moonlight, Wilbur's heart grew sick with dread. He crawled slowly from the saddle, cold and stiff and sore, and quiet as a field mouse, left that cedar by the door. The northern lights a-dancing and the moon as bright as chrome lit the path to Wilbur's shanty as he swiftly jogged on home. Too tired now to worry about the week that lay ahead, Wilbur fed and watered Traveler, then dropped wearily in bed. Well, he promised that he'd be there. Though he came a little late, he heard singing from the schoolhouse as he lingered at the gate. He eased on through that doorway, and he fumbled for a chair, but he quickly smelled the fragrance of a cedar in the air. He knew he wasn't dreaming, but it sure was a surprise, the beauty of that cedar sitting right before his eyes. There were many strings of popcorn and tinsel on the tree, and all those dancing candles made it blush so specially. The star on top was shining like diamonds had been piled. It reminded him of Christmas, back when he was just a child. And that program was a dandy, the best that he had known. Oh, Wilbur beamed so proudly, like each child was his own. They sang Christmas songs so special, said poems that they had learned. He'd have sworn they all were angels from the applause those children earned. Then at last the teacher told him that she wished with all her might to thank each and all for coming on such a cold and frosty night. Just one more thing, she smiled and said. I know you all can see that right here in the corner is a special Christmas tree. It wasn't pruned by humans. It's natural beauty at its best. Old Wilbur almost fainted from the pounding in his chest. Yes, this tree is true and honest. It's so very plain and clear. It's just the way God made it, like the one who packed it here. Oh, I'm not too sure who brought it, but of guessing, I would say that horse out in the moonlight looked a lot like Wilbur's bay. Oh, Wilbur's neck glowed brightly like the color of his shirt, and the teacher and the children hugged old Wilbur till he hurt. Wilbur's eyes, they sure got fuzzy, and they sprung a couple leaks. The hot tears ran like rivers down the side of Wilbur's cheeks. When riding home that evening, he could hear his mother say, "The greatest gifts you'll get, my son, will be those you give away."
That old north wind howling way up in the timber, only choir I remember when I was riding on the line. One lone star hanging over the horizon, put there for the wise men who were following heaven's sign. The snow-capped peaks, like the angels in their glory, seem to sing an ancient story as the wind blows through the pines, drifting along to the sound of spurs a-jingling. Silver bells are ringing, it's Christmas on the line. The snow-capped peaks, like the angels in their glory, seem to sing an ancient story as the wind blows through the pines, drifting along to the sound of spurs a-jingling. Silver bells are ringing, it's Christmas on the line. It sounds like sleigh bells ringing, it's Christmas on the line.
Always enjoyed Barry Ward's version of Michael Martin Murphy's song, Christmas on the Line, and there's still more Western-flavored songs and stories about Christmas on the ranch when the Spirit of the West continues right after this. Welcome back to the Spirit of the West. Gee, I've sure enjoyed putting this one together. There's so much more that we could add if there was only time. But I wanted to make sure I got this song in from the Bar J Wranglers.
On a night so long ago, by the light of one bright star, two weary travelers far from Galilee
took refuge in a stable where a little child was born
to bring the gift of love to you and me.
How the angels told the shepherds of his birth. There came a great rejoicing on the earth, and they sang, "Glory to God in the highest," dawning that first Christmas morn. To you this night a child is born.
And lo, these many years since then, that ancient star still guides us. And now again our Christmas voices ring.
Blessed we are and safe at home, with loved ones here beside us.
And in the still and silent night we sing.
How the angels told the shepherds of his birth. There came a great rejoicing on the earth, and they sang, "Glory to God in the highest," dawning that first Christmas morn. Peace on earth and tidings of great joy, for unto you this night a child is born. Glory to God in the highest, dawning that first Christmas morn. Peace on earth and tidings of great joy, for unto you this night a child is born. For unto you this night a child is born. For unto you this night a child is born.
We're going to wind things up on this Spirit of the West Christmas special with a prairie gal spending Christmas a long ways from the home ranch. Here's Christmas in Alberta with Doris Daly.
Sure is pretty here tonight. Excitement in the air. Busy shoppers hustle home through Central Park. The tree must be 10 stories tall in Rockefeller Square, and a million lights are sparkling in the dark. Oh, it's a fast-paced life I'm living. It's first class all the way. Fancy office, fancy parties, fancy things. I'm shooting for the works, is what my friends all heard me say. And now, I dine with presidents and kings. It's glamorous, all right. Success and all the rest. And maybe it's this little skiff of snow. But tonight, I'm kinda lonesome. for a little place out west and a cowboy down the road I used to know. I bet an opal moon shines on the eastern slopes tonight. The hills lie still beneath a snowy shawl. Chores are done, the porch light's on, a fire crackles bright, maybe Ian's singing at the Longview Hall. It's the symphony for me tonight, champagne and caviar, oh, the swirl and sway and sparkle of this place. But you know, I kinda long to hear a cowboy's soft guitar and to feel a warm chinook upon my face. Where'd she go? That little girl who used to live in cowboy boots, made sure each year that Rudolph got some hay. Oh, she's not gone far, just dresses now in silk designer suits and is living life the New York City way. Sure is pretty here tonight. Excitement in the air, a dab of French perfume, my cab is here. In the swirl and sway and sparkle, I say a little prayer. May it be Christmas in Alberta for me next year.
Rich O'Brien's beautiful guitar plays us out of this segment. Another wonderful Western musician now playing on the heavenly stage. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this Spirit of the West Christmas special as much as we did putting it together. And next week, we'll bring back the best of the last 12 months. On behalf of our support crew, Mark and Kathy McMillan, my bride Billy, our horses Lucky, Cody, and Becca, and our barn cat Helen, have a wonderful Christmas and a great next year.
Thank you.